Hey, scrappy people, Tracy Reed here, and we are here. We are at the last day of our December Daily Prep No Stress series. Today I'm going to be using the Citrus Twist Kits Winter Magic Printables. And I will say I added in a few things because it is a set of cards, a set of papers, and one sheet of embellishments that you get via printables from Citrus Twist Kit. I love it. I love the color palette of this printable collection, but it's not quite enough to make December Daily a December Daily video like this. So I just added in a couple of things to the collection, and I'm going to be using some of the cut files as well, which I know breaks a little bit of a rule for this video series because I said no special tools, but you can get this kind of, like, you can use these are the offcuts of one of the cut files, the inside pieces. You could just use regular die cut trees if you wanted to emulate it, but since the cut files were part of the collection and you can buy pre-cut cut files, I'm going to let this one slide a little bit. So you can see that I created a pocket that pulls out to the side. It is just like an envelope pocket, and I can build on the outside of this pocket either with a layout or I can put the layout inside. Then I adhered it to sticky tab holes and moved on. That one was really simple. I'm going to take this cut file and I am going to back it, and I will admit that I definitely put this aside for the night and came back the next day because I was a little bit stumped after I got it backed. But then I had an epiphany while I was gearing up to record this video and decided that I wanted to make a big shaker pocket with the cut file and these leftover trees. I printed out one of the digital papers on transparency, and I'm going to stick it in the bottom of this pocket. I'm going to divide this page protector into 3 separate pockets using my fuse tool, and I'm actually going to show you me using the fuse tool because it's kind of integral to this page to do it a specific way. So I backed the trees with that tree paper, and now I'm going to dump some glitter in, and I make sure you don't put too much in. I always put too much in and have to dump some out. Now I've got this magnetized down to this magnetic mat, and this is sped up 500%. So I did not go that fast. You need to go a lot slower, but since this video is already really long, I had to speed it up for time. So then I put my word art in, did the same thing. Then I just stuck the top of those trees in the top of this page protector, added some more glitter in, and then I will do it again and seal the top just like I did the other 2 pouches. And then at the end it becomes this really cute divider page. I maybe should have put some glitter in the center as well, but I didn't want it to obscure the view too much, so I didn't. Okay, this is by far my favorite page from this video. I love this paper, and I had this idea to make an advent calendar out of it because, it's already easy to do. So I've trimmed some of these squares, every other square, just up to the top hinge so that I can use my scoreboard and create score lines at the top of each of these folds. Now I'm going to have to go in with my X-Acto knife and cut the inside squares because I do want it to go every other one. So the top inside and that 3rd row inside also need to be cut. So I'm going to use my X-Acto knife to cut those out very carefully. It is okay if this comes apart because I'm going to be adhering it down to a piece of cardstock so I can just put it back together. But the most important part here is to not cut all the way to the end of this very top piece because it needs a little bit of fold at the top of that top piece to create the actual advent little box. So if you cut all the way to the top, there will be no like traction for it to grab hold of so that you can get the fold going on. So that's the only one that you have to be really, really careful with. And then I'm just sticking these back down the way that they're supposed to be. There we go. All right, so I'm going to work on this one, make sure that it is nice and adhered down. There's such a weak bond between this square and the other 2 squares that I added some liquid glue at the top just so that I have a little bit more of a spot for it to fold up. So now you can see I have all of these little squares folded up, and I'm going to decorate the ones that are stuck down. Okay, here's a poll. I did F Amily, because I'm spelling out family. But that's because when I look at it, my eye reads it straight across. Even if the A is a line lower, it reads FAM. Now, would you do F and then M where the A is and A where the M is so that it goes correct, like it's spelled correctly as you work your way down? Or would you do it like I do it? Because it did not make sense to me visually to put the M where the A is because it just read FMA, not FAM. But you let me know what makes sense visually to you. So I've got those stuck down, and these die cuts, the family die cuts, are from the die cuts that were released with this winter magic collection too. There is a set of die cuts in the store that goes along with this set. So I have a little bit of die cuts, new die cuts from Citrus Twist. I decided that I wanted to do some overlapping here, so I'm going to use I'm sorry for my head, I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and just cut this right down the side so that when they're down it reads across, but it can lift up still. And I'm going to do the same with this snowflake over here. I decided I liked the overlapping look, and I was okay with cutting like the icons in half. So this bundled up, these snowflakes are definitely from my Citrus Twist stash. I have quite a large Citrus Twist stash after being on their team for a year. So I went into my themed and unthemed die cuts that I have from the year and pulled things out that would work for these pages and not necessarily be, you know, like December daily or Christmas or winter themed. So the snowflakes are winter themed, but almost everything else I pulled out was just matched in color and in like style. So that's a good tip for if you have a collection or you only have parts of a collection. Try and incorporate it with your stash that you already have existing. 10 to 1, you're going to have stuff in your stash that matches it just fine, and you don't have to use all the same collection for your December daily. I am not going to be using all one collection for my December daily, obviously, because I made 7 different videos using 7 different collections. But oh, I love that page. That was so cute. Okay, so this, I'm going to make a pocket page. That's another way I'm stretching this collection. I accidentally lost a little bit of video, but I wanted to put that frame down, and you can see I put flowers behind it. But in order to keep that frame from sticking completely so that I could stick a photo under it later, I actually stuck some plastic over under the edge that lifts up and keeps that last edge from sticking to the paper so that I can stick a photo under there, and I can then take the plastic out later. I added some stamps from an old stamp set from Citrus Twist onto that card to just customize it a little bit, and I'm using a Simple Stories photo flip 3x4 pocket. Later when I finish this page, I will wrap that top of that 3x4 pocket around so that it wraps around the top of the pocket so that it doesn't hang so low, but since I need to be able to access that pocket still, it's just kind of resting underneath. I think that those pockets are a little bit poorly designed because they're so long, like you can't really, well, I don't know that they could do anything else, but you can't really like sit it at the top of your page very well. You kind of have to wrap it around and then you have to fold it, otherwise it flips open all the time. It's just kind of annoying. I don't like using them for that reason, but I wanted to, maybe I'll just change it out with a hinge later, like a washi hinge or a cardstock hinge. All right, so I'm going to make I'm actually going to make 5 3x4 journal cards at the end of this video. This one feels like a little bit of a cheat. I'm just adding snowflakes to this. This was actually one of the bookmark, 3x8 bookmark, but I cut it down to a 3x4 and then added snowflakes to it. And then I made this card and I did not like it when it was done. So I ended up making another card because I just was not really happy with how this one came out. So we get a bonus card. All right, so this is a little like a birdhouse from an older collection. I thought it worked for this home card, and I'm just going to back it with a little bit of ephemera, and you can see I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I love this. So I keep throwing things at it, hoping that it will look better, but it's just not coming out the way that I want it to. It's okay. I might end up still using it. I might change it later or add to it. Who knows? I'm going to keep it just in case, but it just wasn't my favorite, so that's why I decided to make another one. just kind of throwing everything at it, throwing the kitchen sink at it, trying to make it work. Just becomes a collage. I'm going to do another collage card that works a little bit better for me now. This one says winter days, and then I go into my Citrus Twist stash and I pull out a stamp set from June that I never ended up using, but the sentiments in it fit in that white rectangle perfectly. But of course I misstamp my on my first try because these solid stamps are sort of hard to make work right. So I just stamped it again on cardstock until I liked it and then put it over the top of that. No big deal. It worked. All right, last but not least, my bonus card. I'm going to use these printable, these were from the printable sheet. I'm going to use all these circles and I'm just going to create a fun decorative card. I liked the way that these circles all looked together, going off the edges, and then I'm going to add in some enamel dots from my Citrus Twist stash. This heart is from the ephemera. And then I was looking at this going, this just doesn't look right. The balance is off down there at the bottom. So what can I do? And then I dug into my stash and found another circle, and you'll see in just a second what it looks like. So, sorry, this one had to go a little bit fast because it was super long, but look at how cute all of this came out. I love the way this whole series came out. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well, and I will see you next time. Thank you.